Guys, I'm teaming up with my good friend, retired Navy SEAL Jocko, and we're going to do something very special. Jocko started Jocko Fuel after finding out some of the supplements that he was buying for his family were filled with heavy metals and ingredients he wasn't aware of. He wanted a line of supplements and consumables that had all of the good, effective ingredients and none of the bad. So, he made it happen. I got set up with all of the key products, and I want to do the same for you. Jocko Go. They are energy drinks for clean, sustainable energy. Jocko Milk Protein for 30 grams of delicious grass-fed protein, plus a whole line of supplements to support mood, focus, hydration, and more. Jocko Fuel supplements are scientifically formulated and made with ingredients that are clinically tested. They are better for you options with no added sugar or artificial sweeteners and no gray area ingredients or banned substances. It is clean fuel without compromise, and right now you can get 20% off when you use the promo code Chael at jockofuel.com or just click on the link below. Don't ever manufacture conflict. I'm talking to you specifically. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm not saying it's great for promotion. I'm not saying a person can't make a whole bunch of money doing it. I'm telling you, don't you ever manufacture conflict. Do you want to know why I'm talking to you? Because you're not a good enough actor. You are not good enough at this to do that. If you don't have heat with the guy, don't make it up. Don't throw water bottles at him. Don't start calling him out. Don't start using the F word. Don't do these kinds of things because you'll get caught somewhere. You'll come out of the meeting and you're doing heat. Then you got some jerk off with backstage access just like you walking around with this iPhone, having no idea that you manufactured heat with some guy. He'll put out a release of the access because you're signing photos. You're saying hello to the guy in the hotel lobby. You're backstage cutting weight. He doesn't have anything to drink. You offer him some water and a handful of your grapes, something like that. But these are real things. These are real things that get captured. And then some guy, some cornerman, some lummox, some other interchangeable mediocrity on the card, just like you, goes and puts that out. Having no idea that you guys have built a backstory where you got to be separated, you can't stand one there. They'll have no idea. The marketing team and the PR team don't work together. Believe me, I know this full well. I had some of the hottest angle going with Jon Jones, to the point that I'm the number one contender in a division I had never even competed. I got heat, right? And then I have people within the organization that don't follow the sport. Yes, as shocking as that would be. And I end up celebrating Thanksgiving with Jon, and there's a photo on Instagram of he and I cutting a turkey together. And everything goes up in smoke. Now, I'm only telling you that. Don't manufacture something. It will not be believable. You will not be able to stay in character. And when you have the real greats, and I've got to put Conor McGregor at the top of this list, when you have the real greats, they will be in character at all times. Well, how do you do that? You're either good enough to go for an Academy Award head-to-head with Ed Norton and Christian Bale, or ding, 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 or what? Or you're not acting. You're not playing. Therefore, you don't have to turn it on and off. That's why you don't manufacture it. You make it real, whatever it is. It could be funny. You could be old training partners. You could have flipped the coin. I mean, there's stupid reasons to fight, but there's still a reason to fight. You two could not want to fight. What was that one? What was that dud they were getting ready to put out? Ian Gary versus his buddy. Well, those two are on like a, and they're tickling the, what was that? Well, Ian Gary and his buddy, where they were going to do the fight. They ended up scrapping it because it was so bad. Either way, if that's what it is, and if that's what you got to do, don't fake it though. And when I bring this to you, I'm hearing Conor McGregor is going to fight International Fight Weekend, June 29th. I'm hearing Conor McGregor, this is going to be a surprise. Conor McGregor is going to be on 300, top of the bill, main event. I'm hearing they're going to make up a weight class called 165 pounds to put Conor McGregor in for a title fight and let Leon Edwards know we're no longer do welterweight. Why? What's it about? One of the most powerful interviews that I've ever seen in the sport was years ago. 4 or 5 years ago. I've changed studios 3 times. I remember what studio I was in, even though I can't remember the year, about 4 or 5 years ago. It came from Coach Kavanaugh, Conor's coach. And Coach Kavanaugh said there's all sorts of rumors of Conor returning. Is he going to return and box? Is this stuff with Manny Pacquiao? Is it something with Dustin Poirier? Is he doing MMA? Is he doing 170 pounds? Is he doing 155 pounds? Coach Kavanaugh said, before I train him, before he comes to Straight Blast Gym and trains under my roof, I'm going to ask him one question, and he better have an answer. I'm going to ask him why. And Coach Kavanaugh said, I don't care what the answer is. It doesn't have to be because I'm hungry, I'm starving, I want this. There just has to be a why. If this is something that we're going to do because this is all that you know, or this is used to what you're doing, or it's going through the motions, I'm not going to be part of it. And I'm going to tell my pupil, Conor, who will listen to me, to stop. I remember when Coach Kavanaugh talked about this, so I know I'm changing the words. This isn't verbatim. But he did make a point to say that he didn't care what the answer was. It didn't have to be something cliche. It didn't have to be like a Rocky movie. It didn't have to be, I get knocked down and I get back. It didn't have to be anything like that. But there had to be an actual reason. Why are we doing this? And as simple of a statement as that was, I can't remember a coach's interview from ever. I don't remember one. This was 4 or 5 years ago, and I remember that. So why is Conor coming back? Why is Conor fighting? Why should it matter? Why, if it's International Fight Weekend or it's a surprise and it's 300? Why Michael Chandler? Is it to pay off the Ultimate Fighter? Why? What is this about? There's no belt. There's no ranking. They don't even have a weight class. What is this about? Is this personal feud? I'm not going to buy that because there's not. Is it he just loves to do MMA and he just wants to do MMA? I'm not going to buy that. Any boxing event they call and invite him to, it doesn't matter if it's bare knuckle or if it's over in Saudi Arabia, he's on the first thing smoking, he's sitting there and he's being a fan. I don't buy any of this. What is this fight about, guys? It's about one thing. It's about a comeback after an injury. That's what it's about. We are not manufacturing anything here. The whole world is on the edge of the seat waiting to see, can somebody at his age, with the speculation, with the rumor, with the innuendo, dealing with everything he's had to deal with, aside from the skill, aside from the grit, aside from the experience, aside from the championships, can they come back from a devastating injury like the one that Conor dealt with? That's what this whole thing is about. It does not matter who the opponent is. There's no name that I can insert that moves the needle. It doesn't matter what weight class it's at. It's why they don't have one. And they likely never will. They will likely never come in and tell you if it's at 55 or 70 or 85. And I don't mean that literal. Of course, they'll throw it out, but it'll be in the smallest print. Nobody's going to care. And then they won't even say, well, why is it at 165 pounds? That's not even a weight class that we can test. Well, it's at 165 pounds because it doesn't matter what weight they fight at. This has nothing to do with anything. It's nothing to do with rankings, with lineage, with history, with championships. It has nothing to do with anything. Just get them into the octagon, get the guy in the shark suit out, and somebody say go. Can he hold up? Of everything that Conor has overcome, he never gets credit for the things he's overcome. If you guys were following the sport back when Conor was 145 pounds, just him making 145 pounds is really quite epic. There was some massive struggles that he had to get through. And now here we are, and he's got one big struggle and one big test that's right in front of us, and it's, can he hold up? Can that leg hold up? If he goes main event, it's got to hold up for up to 25 minutes. If he goes anything less than main event, it's got to hold up for up to 15 minutes, unless we just make it up on the fly and say you're going to go fight for 5 rounds. Can he do it? The fight is about a comeback. It's about the injury. It's about overcoming. It's about the adversity. It's real. It's not manufactured. It's about the one thing that nobody's talking about. It's about the one thing that you won't find a headline for. It's about the one thing you don't have to make up a weight class or make up a belt or even tell Leon, here's your hat, what you're. You don't have to do any of those things. Tell it for what it is. the greatest, the most popular, the highest paid MMA fighter of all time is no longer a teen. He's no longer 25 to 30. He's no longer in the most coveted demographic there is. He's now in the real world, coming off of a real injury. And you're going to watch the fight, and you're going to be curious of the fight, and you're going to watch the training of the fight, and you're going to watch the build-up to the fight for one reason: to find out if he can overcome the injury or not. So tell it for what it is.